Hey everyone, welcome to our video series Canal Days, and thanks for joining us for today's episode on the Palmer Center Cemetery located in Palmer, Massachusetts. I am your host, Carrie, here with my co-host, local historian and founder of Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Camus. As your personal tour guide, Robert will lead you through some of the most iconic sites and the legends of historic significance throughout New England's preeminent and pivotal state of Massachusetts. With his expert insights, every monument and memorial story comes to life. Afterwards, don't forget to check out his website, holyokecanaltour.org, to access the full Canal Days video and podcast series. Also, check out his free in-person public tours he offers throughout Western Mass and the 2025 schedule for these special events. You can also book personalized private tours tailored to your interests for groups of all sizes. And to discover all that and much more, remember to log on to holyokecanaltour.org. So, Robert, in which year was this cemetery first created?
It was created in the year 1737 in Palmer, so it's pre-1776 with the creation of the country. It also means there should be, at one time should have been, stones that faced towards the east, because headstones pre-1776 faced to the east. Well, there are none in there. That means they've been shifted around. There are some footstones though. Now, this is not the oldest cemetery in Palmer. It's the second oldest. There's one 5 years older, the Oak Knoll Cemetery from 1732. That's older. So, Palmer is a large geographic sized place, and so you would expect very old cemeteries in different pockets. So we're going to go see this one, and we'll walk around the modern section and then into the very old section. We've entered the cemetery proper. There's a lot of stones all over the place. The back section here is the section for the mid-1800s. And then, yes, mid-1700s or early 1700s as we got close to these woods. A lot of them have a lot of wear on them. They're nicely straight up and down, so someone has been taking care of them very well. Now notice there's a footstone here pointing towards the easterly direction. And so we're going to go to the front of this one. And yes, John Spence. It's hard to read the year, but his headstone's pointing towards the east. And if he died after 1776, it's pointing direct direction. And notice that the headstone and footstone point in different directions, which is the correct way of doing it. Yep, so this is a very rare headstone and footstone correct arrangement. It's a little off, skewed. It should be a footstone about 10 inches to its right. But it's one of the very rare correct arrangements, never been moved. Headstone and footstone point in opposite directions. I've been doing this for 25 years. I've only found 5 of those. And they tend to be in very the outskirts of Hamden and Hampshire County. Okay, 1812, 1828. And then you can see the headstone over here. So this is another one. So there's at least two in this cemetery, and there's probably more. Okay, so let's go to the very old ones, 1700s. Here's a 1783, and its footstone is behind it. This is John Thomas, 1783 death. And this is his footstone, Lieutenant John Thomas. So here's another one. Within the same cemetery, you have three. Okay, and then this one here says 1783, and it might have its, yep, it has a footstone right over there. Geoff Thomas and JT over there. Okay, 1788. Now here's a 1767, and the footstone is behind it. Now, when you get to be pre-1776, the headstone should face towards the east, and the footstone should face towards the west. And they've been switched around to make it look like they were like the ones post 1776. 1790, and the footstone is pointing in the same direction, so that one's been changed around. So there's lots of wonderful examples over here in this very old part of the cemetery. And look at these very old ones over here, facing right into the woods, which is usual, of course. Okay, this is a 1763 death of Mr. Hugh Smith, and I'm sorry, yeah, Hugh Smith, and his wife Agnes probably is around because she has a footstone over there. Okay, so really nicely done, and not much change inside this cemetery. But there were some changes, of course, on extremely old ones. They tried to make them look like the post-1776 ones. And some of these, if we clean them up, would look spectacular. All right, this one's been switched around. John McMathers. And this is his footstone, and it points outwards. Yep. Now he's been switched around now because the hole should be pointing towards the east. And this one has a correct footstone, and this one does too. So there's a lot in this cemetery, which is extremely unusual. I've seen 6 so far. And this one, the headstone, yep, points the other way. This is 1766. Someone switched the stone to point towards the east. Okay, and you see its footstone behind. So it's quite wonderful to see all these stones in the correct direction. Very little tampering going on. And what they've done is made a place for veterans over here, a memorial section. Okay, we'll end with one more, and look at these footstones. They all belong to the ones here. So, and they all point in the right direction, so everything's wonderful. Great cemetery. Thank you very much.